ECG and Echo Fundamentals.
Thanks for joining. I was, first of all, I apologize for the last time where I had very poor internet connection. And unfortunately, after 15, 20 minutes, we had to call that off. Today, I'll repeat the same session, although it looks like we've got similar participants. We've got Somnath, we've got Amit, and we've got I don't remember Aditya. I think we were all the same in the group. So wherever we've covered the topic, I would not pay much of emphasis on them. So before I start, can I get a confirmation that you can hear me all right, and also you could see the slides?
Yes.
Okay, great. Last time we talked about some of the basic understanding of ECG waves, but anyhow, I will go through them as I mentioned. And we also spoke about what an ECG is. It's basically an electrical conduction of your heart by examining the changes of your, from your normal things on your ECG. You can identify a multitude of cardiac disease processes, if you will. There are two ways to learn your ECG interpretation. One is the pattern recognition, which is the most common one, and one is the electrical vectors that you read. So, in other words, you relate it to the cardiac electrophysiology of things, and sometimes it's both of those things that you may need to take. So you may need to look at the pattern. You also may need to look at the electrophysiology of these things. So as I mentioned, it is a representation of electrical events of your cardiac cycle. And you guys know what cardiac cycle is, so I wouldn't dwell too much on that. ECG mainly, the why we do an ECG, we look at, obviously the rhythm pattern of things. You'll be able to almost instantly recognize that, I hope. At the end of this talk, you might be able to gather a bit more knowledge than you probably had before coming into this class. You should be able to recognize some of the ischemic changes that you may see, and or chamber hypertrophy things, electrolyte disturbance, and drug toxicity, which is why we do these ECGs. The fundamental principles, as I mentioned the last time, and I won't spend too much time on this because I also spoke about polarization, depolarization, repolarization side of things. Pacemaker, just briefly brushing through your SA node, your electrical impulses obviously goes through originates from your SA node, travels to your AV node, then goes through your bundle of hairs, goes across as two branches, where you'd be able to know and understand the term of right bundle branch block and left bundle branch block and left posterior fascicular blocks or left anterior fascicular blocks. So these are concepts that you would have to know, and for that this diagram is kind of useful, and I'm sure you guys know about it, so I wouldn't spend too much time on this. Bipolar and unipolar leads. We look at mainly bipolar leads. ECG, as you guys know, the 12-wave VC or the 12-lead ECG is the one that we relate to more often. And you know that there are three standard limb leads, there are three augmented limb leads, and obviously there are six precordial leads. Limb leads are called limb leads because they are placed on the arms and the legs of an individual, right? So the other six leads that you see is is considered as precordial leads because they're placed on the torso or your precordium. Yeah, and the six limb leads are your lead 1, 2, 3, AVR, AVL, and AVF. What does A stand for in this? Do we know what does A? We know that there's in everything we put it as AVR, AVL, AVF, right? What does A stand for?
Augmented.
Arterial, no.
Augmented.
Augmented, correct. Yeah. So it is, A stands for augmented. As why are they called augmented?
Augmented.
I could not hear that, but anyway, these are leads that are called augmented because these are calculated as combination leads. And when we say combination, it's a combination of 1, 2, and your 3 leads. So it's your lead 1, lead 2, and your lead 3. Yeah, your 6 precordial leads are your V1 to V6, as you guys know about it. It's basically telling the same thing here.